Are you thinking about buying a new home here in the Jackson metro area? Or are you moving from somewhere else and you'll need to buy a house when you get here? Well, you've come to the right place because we're going to dive into everything from start to finish about how that process works. What's up, everybody? My name is Jared Laster. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams here in the Jackson metro area, and if you're new to this channel, we're making videos like this all the time. So if you're thinking about moving here or you're buying a house here, you're going to want to follow this channel so that you get all the information you'll need when you get ready to pull that trigger. So go down, hit that subscribe button, make sure you click the bell, and then you'll get notified every time one of our new videos goes live. Now, if you are somebody who is closer to actually needing to buy a house, like you're ready to do it now or in the next few months, because it does take some time. If you want to be moved in 2 months from now, it's time to get moving. So if you're in that position, you need to go ahead and reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or even break out your megaphone. Because it's really whatever you need to do to get in touch with us, because we've got your back moving to the Jackson Metro. Diving right in, before we get started looking at houses and even putting in an offer, there's some things that you need to do to get prepared, just to start everything that's going to make the whole process go a lot smoother. So I'm going to touch on these really quick. We also made another video about this that I'll put up in the card so that you can go watch that video. It kind of takes you through, well, the whole process, but really that preparation. The first thing you're going to need to do is find you a lender, get pre-approved. Now, you can do some things without getting pre-approved, but it helps to know what you can buy, how much you can buy, and it lets you know where you need to look and what you can look for. The last thing you want to do is get out, find a home, and not be able to buy it. Now, this is kind of universal. This is anywhere, not just here in Jackson. Matter of fact, a lot of these prep steps are anywhere. So if you think you're well prepared, feel free to slide on through. After you get pre-approved, the next step is going to be discussing your criteria about what you're going to be looking for. So that's going to start with home size. Do you need 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms? Do you need an office? Do you want a pool? You know, we got to figure those things out. And then what area do you want to be in? What kind of area? Do you want like a hip downtown vibe where you can walk down the street to some neat shops and cool restaurants? Or are you more relaxed? You want to be in the suburbs where you can get around without the downtown traffic and hassles? And, you know, whatever that is, we need to figure out what that criteria is for you. So we're going to do that, and we're going to take that and put it into a search so that we can get you set up seeing the homes that match that criteria. And once we find the homes that you like, we'll go look at them. We'll go do tours, and we'll narrow it down until we've got the one, and that's when you're ready to make your offer. Now, all of that part right there is pretty much anywhere you go. That's the preparation you need to do when you get ready to buy a house. And if you hit a snag on getting pre-approved or anything like that, we've got great lenders that will help you get where you want to be. So once we've found that house, we're going to put in the offer, and that offer is going to take some things. You know, we're pretty much initially negotiating when we send in that offer. So it's not just the price. We can also ask for the seller to pay some closing costs if you need to, or if you want to. That's going to reduce your out-of-pocket costs when you go to the closing table, so that you won't have to bring as much, or in some cases, any at all. There's some other things that we can put in there as well, and things that we usually do. So we're going to make that contingent on a home inspection. It's going to be contingent on appraisal. So the house has to appraise for at least the amount that we're offering. You don't want to pay more than the house is worth. We're also going to get the seller to provide you a termite report. So they're going to have an inspector go out and make sure the house doesn't have termites. And if it does, we're going to get it treated. And we're also going to make sure that if there's any utility inspections or things like that that's going to come up, that those will be covered for you, so that you don't have to get surprised at the end of the deal to come out with more money before you can close. Nobody likes that. And there's a few other things that we can put in there. If you have some special requests about things you want to stay with the property, we usually like to negotiate in there for the seller to provide you a home warranty to cover some things around the house, so in that first year of owning it, you're not hit with any extra costs that you're not expecting. And then once we get that put together, we'll send it to them. We'll negotiate back and forth until we get a deal that is mutually agreed upon by both sides. We'll get signatures from the buyers and the sellers. And then we're under contract. That's right, you will be under contract to purchase a house. And that is not at all where it ends. Once we get the offer accepted and you are under contract, the first thing we're going to need to do is set up your home inspection. We've worked with many around here. If you're not local to the area, if you don't have somebody, we can definitely provide some recommendations for you to get you a good home inspector in there. That home inspector is going to be working for you. They're going to find things that you or I would never even think of. And that's good because those things can be very costly if they surprise you down the road. You're probably starting to notice a lot of this is about preventing surprises, because in real estate, surprises are usually bad. Once we've got the report back from the home inspector, that's we're going to take that, we're going to negotiate again what the seller will pay for, what they'll have fixed, or what you'll be okay with accepting as is. A lot of times the things on the report, there will be many things there that are really not big deals, things that are minor, they're not going to be big expenses down the road, and we try not to focus on those. But if there are things that are going to be costly or things that we didn't know about, big defects to the house or appliances, equipment, things like that, we're going to want to get that taken care of so that you don't have to come out of pocket for it. We'll work with you to determine what's important to you, negotiate that out with the seller, and then we're on to the next phase. And that next phase is, for you as a buyer, pretty simple. We've already done most of the negotiating that we're going to do. This is the point where the seller is going to have that termite inspection done. Hopefully there's no termites. We don't have to worry about it. We'll move on there. And if there is termites, usually it's not that big of a deal for them to go ahead and take care of it, because even if they don't want to, and I'm sorry sellers, the lenders are probably going to require that it's treated even if it's not that bad. But that's good for you as a buyer, because nobody wants termites in their house. So once we've got that, a lot of the areas around here are going to have utility inspections. These are inspections that the county or city does to ensure that the home is safe and ready for electricity and water to be turned on. You know, the last thing you want is to flip that breaker and the house goes up in flames or gets flooded. That's not good for anyone. Usually the things that come on that are pretty minor code things that, while they do need to be fixed, they're not major deals, but they usually will have to be done to get those utilities turned on. If we need to, we'll negotiate that out, but that's another thing that we try to include at the very beginning so that you're protected and you don't have to worry about it. Once we get to this point, we'll have the seller already be aware that they're going to have to cover that if it comes up. Now, while we're doing all this, you'll need to make sure that your lender gets all the information that they need. We'll make sure that they have the contract, and them as well as the closing attorney. They'll be taking care of title work, and anything like that has to be done kind of behind the scenes. You really won't notice too much about it until we get to that closing table where it's already done. And assuming no major deal breakers came up along the way with all the various inspections, we'll be ready to close. So in that initial contract, we would have set a closing date, a deadline to close by. And usually if we're working with the lenders, they'll tell us when we should set that, what kind of a time frame we can expect. Typically that's going to be 30 to 45 days. And then once we get to that date, we'll be ready to close. If there is a delay, we can request an extension, and that's usually not too much of a problem, but we do want to avoid it if at all possible. And then the big day is here. It's time to go sign and sign and sign. You're going to do a lot of signing, so I'm telling you, get ready. But once all the paperwork is done, the keys are yours and you're ready to go start moving into your new home. Now, in large part, once you've moved in, the home buying process is over. But there is another little key factor that you'll want to be aware of, and that is homestead exemption. If you're going to be living in this house as your primary residence, you will get a homestead exemption here in the state of Mississippi if that's your only one. And you cannot apply for that until January of the following year. You'll need to do that before April 1st, so between January and April 1st of the next year. If you do not do that, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You typically can save anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500, even more. It depends on what area you're in and how much the house is worth. But don't worry, we'll stay in touch with you so that come January, you'll remember. We won't let you forget, because we don't want to let that happen to anyone. We'll make sure you get that filed, and then you'll be on to having a most likely lower payment on your mortgage for the rest of the time. If you did forget, that's where you would see the increase. It would be on your mortgage payments, because they're paid out of an escrow account that you'll pay into with your regular monthly payment. So we won't let you forget it. And that's it, y'all. That's the whole process. That's buying a house. Now, there's intricacies and things that I can't really get into here in a short YouTube video. The best way that I can really tell you about everything that's going to be involved is to just set up a quick call. If you're local, we can meet in person. If you're not here, we can do a Zoom call, meet face to face, and see what's going on. Now, if you're ready to make that move, you're getting ready to do it. Like I said in the beginning, you need to go ahead and get in touch with us as soon as possible. So go ahead, reach out, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or even break out the megaphone. Like I said, it's whatever you need to do to get in touch with us. That's what you need to do, because we've got your back moving to the Jackson Metro. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you go down, hit that subscribe, click the bell so that you'll get notified every time a new video goes live. And hey, if you enjoyed this, if this has given you helpful information, we'd love it if you go down there and hit that like button for us. It does help the channel out. We appreciate it. Thank y'all for watching this one.